If you're in the United States and you've been wondering how you can get your hands on XRP, there has been very few options. I'm going to tell you about an exchange that just went live in which United States customers can use credit cards, can use Apple Pay in order to buy XRP. And not only that, this solution is actually hosted on the XRP ledger. Also, there's a couple of motions that we're waiting on in the Ripple versus the SEC case. Judge Torres just ruled on one of them. I'm going to tell you what it was. And another one that was approved in Ripple's favor, I'm going to tell you about, and I'm going to tell you about that, as well as some deadlines, because Jeremy Hogan has his time frame in which he thinks that this case is going to be completely over. So I'm going to tell you what he told Wendy O on a recent interview. I'm also going to go over some updates with Celsius, some of the polls that I put up on my channel, as well as the crypto pick that I made in my Patreon account that if you are interested in, you can go check out. Link in the description below. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right now on this channel, we're covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other crypto news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all these topics interest you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the Late Night Grind community. Also, if you do three things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button, watch this video all the way to the end, and of course, check out my Patreon, link in the description below. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Okay, so first, let's jump into the Ripple versus the SEC case. A few motions have just been granted. Number one, the SEC recently wrote a letter to the judge, a motion, in which basically what they want to do is strike or limit all of Ripple's expert reports or expert witnesses in this case, and they want to do it in the form of one brief instead of 15 separate ones or 10 separate ones. So according to Jeremy Hogan, he said this really isn't a big deal. They get to object to Ripple's witnesses, and of course Ripple gets the same 120 pages to object to the SEC's witnesses and objections. So that was approved by Judge Torres, and recently Ripple has been wanting to hire 2 new attorneys to work on this case. Their motions to join this case have been approved as well. So Ripple gets those 2 new attorneys that I talked about in one of my previous videos. So right now everything is on schedule. We are still waiting on the one motion that everybody wants to know about, and that is the Bill Hinman email. So stick around and make sure that you are subscribed to the Late Night Grind. Once that comes out, there will absolutely be an in-depth video about it and what it could mean for the rest of this case, because so far that's the most important decision that we've been waiting on. But I also wanted to mention, Jeremy Hogan was on a recent interview with Wendy O, who's another crypto channel, and he was talking about his potential timeline for this case to completely end. He said, since this is more of a legal case, this isn't necessarily a trial by jury, this case is going to wrap up a little bit quicker. He thinks his timeline is probably by December of the end of this year. He did mention how another one of his attorney friends thinks that it will probably go into 2023, maybe sometime around March, maybe April, that this could wrap up. So in general, his time frame that he thinks this will all be over probably between December of this year and March of next year. However, that's what we said last year. So you never know. You're going to want to stick around and make sure you follow all the details of this case if you're an XRP holder, because as we know, there is some crazy things that are going to happen with the price of XRP once this case goes through. Now, I did want to talk about this case a little bit in terms of what John Deaton recently said, because this comes on the back of a huge Solana private lawsuit in which somebody is suing Solana privately for basically calling it a Ponzi scheme, an illegal or unregistered securities scam, basically trying to sue them. Now, this isn't the SEC suing Solana. This is a private lawsuit. But nonetheless, John Deaton said, listen, this kind of stuff is going to happen all the time if Ripple ends up losing this case somehow, if somehow XRP is deemed a security. He said you're going to see private lawsuits, hedge funds suing blockchain companies, lawsuits flying all over the place. He said literally by the hundreds, thousands of cryptos are likely to get sued. Exchanges are likely to get sued. You're going to see lawsuits flying all over the place. That is why this Ripple versus SEC case is so important to the crypto world, and why those even outside of XRP that don't hold any XRP, or even the XRP haters, should really be paying attention, because there are a lot more things at stake than just XRP. Okay, and before I talk about how you can get your hands on more XRP, I did want to give a little bit of an update on some of the stories that I was talking about in some of my previous videos. Number one, Celsius. Obviously, they're facing solvency issues. they have completely paid off their Bitcoin loan, so they can no longer be liquidated from their Bitcoin. Now, that's a good thing, but they're still not allowing withdrawals because, well, there's a lot of reasons for that. But some people speculate that if they would allow withdrawals, they would still be insolvent, because just because their Bitcoin holdings can't be liquidated doesn't mean they actually have everybody's money that submitted tokens to their network. But nonetheless, the speculation is that Sam Bankman-Fried is actually bankrolling their payoff of that Bitcoin loan. Also, I did want to mention one of the polls that I put up on my channel, and if you are new to this channel at all, go ahead and check out the community tab. I put up polls up there on pretty much a weekly basis because I love to see how you guys respond to these different questions. The last one, one of the ones that I put up there, asked if you think that the crypto markets would actually bounce back and see a return or a capitulation faster than the legacy markets like the Dow Jones, the S&P, and some of those other markets. Well, after about 3,200 results, 71% of you said yes, that the crypto markets will bounce back and essentially front run the rest of these markets. So that's interesting. If you want to take part in the rest of these polls, like I said, go ahead and check out the community tab. And finally, a quick update on my Patreon pick, the one crypto pick that I'm looking at for the next couple of weeks and even next couple of months. So far, it is up approximately 10%. So if you're interested in going to check that out, there is a link in the description below to my Patreon. There's also another alert that I just put up there the other day about something that you might want to pay attention to if you're more of a trader. Okay, so now let's get into, if you are in the United States, how you can get your hands on more XRP and do it much, much easier and quicker than a lot of the ways that you can do it now that are already out there. There is a solution called OnXRP. I've talked about them a couple of times on this channel, but not a whole lot. They are actually one of the Ripple grant winners, in which Ripple is basically giving payments and funding these developments of the different of the different softwares, the different programs that are built on top of the XRP ledger. So OnXRP, right now, it's a decentralized exchange. They're planning on doing some more things with it, but right now it's a decentralized exchange, which means you don't have to submit all of your different, take a picture of your driver's license, your contact information, the name of your firstborn, middle name, all of that stuff. You don't have to do it. It's decentralized exchange. Right now, they just announced yesterday that you can buy XRP through the use of Banxa, which is a fiat on and off ramp solution, to buy XRP directly with your credit card, so Visa, MasterCard, or even your Apple Pay account. So right now you can utilize OnXRP, and I will put a link in the description to that decentralized exchange. I'll put a link to that in the description below, because right now, if you're in the United States, it's actually kind of difficult, or at least a kind of shady process to get your hands on XRP. Now, there are a few exchanges that can do it. Obviously, Uphold was one that I talked about a lot last year, but I've seen a lot of people complain about Uphold not allowing certain withdrawals, or having to wait way too long to withdraw some of your tokens. There's obviously some other ones. I know Gate.io, you can get XRP. Bitfinex, you can get XRP. But those are not decentralized exchanges. Those, you have to submit all of your contact information. You have to wait for approval, sometimes several days. And you probably, or you might get rejected because you live in the United States. It's just one of those things that using OnXRP will make it that much easier to get your hands on more XRP. Now, Sologenic, they are a decentralized exchange in which you can essentially do the same thing. They've been out for a while, but they've kind of fallen off of the radar. And in fact, I saw Bitfinex is not happy with the Corium team, which is essentially the Sologenic team, because of them not delivering airdrops. That'll be for another video. But so like I said, right now, OnXRP is a brand new decentralized exchange. You can go get your hands on XRP. This, along with other relistings, once Ripple wins this case, well, yeah, you know what's going to happen to XRP. All right, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.